Scrum Masters are not getting jobs. And that is true. A lot of you are not. But there's a reason as to why you're not getting those jobs. Let's discuss why. The first problem is that the Scrum Master job market has become massively, and I mean massively, oversaturated. You have got Scrum Masters that are qualifying day in and day out, and there's nothing to differentiate between that person and that person. And this is all coming down to a couple of certifications that are being pushed onto the market and people thinking these are the good ones to go for in the instance. But I'm about to reveal to you guys that is not the right approach. So the first thing is that there is an increased demand on the market for Scrum Masters. Every company is going through a digital transformation, and because of this, we need individuals that are certified and understand how to take a company from A to Z for a digital transformation journey. But more importantly, it's backed up by an agile transformation. And hey presto, who do you need for that? Scrum Masters. But the problem is that we need practical Scrum Masters. The Scrum Masters that we're getting on the market right now are basically CSM and PSM qualified candidates. They have barely mastered 20% of the syllabus. They only know the theory and they cannot apply the theory to the practical. And worst of all, they are revising to pass a test. They're not revising to actually get the job. They are just revising the syllabus that's given to them in the 2-day training course to pass the test. That's it, nothing more. So how on earth can you really expect to get a Scrum Master job? I mean, Scrum Masters spend in the region of 10 to 20 years, 10 to 15 years even sometimes, mastering their professions. So you're trying to shortcut this and acquire this quickly. You're not going to get this within a 2-day training course. And on top of that, there's fierce competition. Because everyone is taking the usual certifications, CSM and PSM, you've created basically a space right now which is packed full of CSM and PSM qualified Scrum Masters. And when you're applying for jobs, you're unable to differentiate yourself and the next person. How are you going to show your unique selling proposition if you just have the same certifications all the time? That is a huge problem that we've got in the market right now. And this lack of differentiation is leaving many people unable to get jobs. So when you see people online saying, I can't get a Scrum Master job, I can't get a Scrum Master job, I've applied to 20 roles online and I'm getting 0 responses back, well, the reasons are very clear. It's because you possess 0 practical knowledge, you don't have any differentiating factors, and you've acquired a certification which is purely fundamental in its nature. And the biggest thing here is the lack of practical knowledge. I've said it before, I've said it in many videos before, you cannot acquire this within 2 days. It is impossible. The only way to acquire this is to go on a proper program, a structured curriculum that's going to tie the theory to the practical. And once when you see the connection, when you can integrate the connection, that's when you know you've got it. And when you can draw it up on the board, when you can draw it up on the pen and paper at home, then you've got it. When you can actually execute the task from your place of work, then you know you have acquired that practical skill. But the problem is most of you, actually 90 to 95% of you, don't have this at all. And in order to bridge this gap, it's very simple. You need coaching. You need mentorship. You can't get past it. The sad thing is that when you first start researching how to become a Scrum Master, what's the first thing that you do? You go on Google and you type in Scrum Master training, Scrum Master certification. What's the top 2 results? CSM and PSM. You click on it and you think, right, this is the way to become a Scrum Master. I'll get myself certified. I'll become highly recognized in the market and I should be able to get the job, right? That's what you're thinking. That's not reality. That might have been reality 20 to 25 years ago, but that's no longer the scenario now. Now you're competing in a globalized market with so many people that have much more depth and breadth of skill that you don't have right now. So just acquiring a fundamental certification by its own is not enough. So you have to break out from this bubble that you're stuck in right now. And this skill gap can only be covered, can only be bridged when you have one-to-one mentorship. That's it. If you want to shortcut the process of becoming a Scrum Master, and remember, it's 10 to 15 to 20 years of knowledge that you're trying to acquire, okay? You're trying to acquire this in a short period of time. To acquire this in a short period of time, you need to have someone that has been there and done that, and can download all the information and upload it into your brain. And you need to do that in a structured curriculum. You're not going to get it in 2 days. That's impossible. You can just write that off. That ain't going to happen. You need a coach, a mentor, an instructor, someone that can take all that information and condense it in such a manner and upload it into your brain so you know exactly how to execute those tasks on a day-to-day basis as a Scrum Master. That way you will stand a chance to getting a Scrum Master interview, getting past the CV and the resume stages and getting a face-to-face interview. That's the only way that this can be done. And many of your resumes are just nonsense, I'm sorry to say. I've seen a lot of your resumes that you guys submit to me on a daily basis, and to be honest, they're a lot of rubbish. No one's going to hire you. I'm the first person to say that. And if you were submitting that resume to my organization, absolutely not. I will not be hiring you at all. I want to hire someone that has business skills. I want to hire someone that has got good organizational skills and can tie them together. That's the individual I want to hire. I don't want to hire a Scrum Master. Why would I want to hire a Scrum Master? What's he going to do? Facilitate meetings? That's a useless individual. And unfortunately, that's what you're being taught. That's what you're being taught. Facilitate, coach, mentor, build, support the Scrum events. That's what you're taught in CSM, and that's what you're taught in PSM. So you tell me how on earth you're going to become a Scrum Master just by learning this. It's impossible. You cannot do that. So your resumes are reflecting this. If it's reflecting it to me clearly, how do you think it's reflecting it to the other person that's reading it? They ain't going to give you a job. They ain't going to give you an interview. They ain't going to even respond to your resume because it looks like you haven't even put in the effort. So hear me out, guys. If you really want to become a Scrum Master, you got to start taking this stuff seriously. Taking a cheap certifications to CSM and PSM ain't going to do it. It's 2 days of training. How on earth are you going to upload 10 to 15 years of experience in your head? It's impossible. And on top of that, you don't even know how to interview. How are you going to interview when that recruiter asks you those critical questions? Do you really know what the Scrum Master actually does? Do you really know what the Scrum Master does in this situation? If the team members are having a fight, what do you do? If the product owner can't control the stakeholders, what are you going to do as a Scrum Master? These are important topics. You are supposed to know exactly what to do, but unfortunately, you've not been taught this. And whose fault is that? It's your fault, because you've sat there with a CSM and a PSM and you're twiddling your thumbs and thinking, oh, I can't get a job, what shall I do? Well, if you're really committed to the journey, you would seek coaching and mentorship and get on a path whereby you can actually get into a position to interview and get a job. Right now, you don't possess any practical skills, hands down. And there's a lot of misconceptions about the Scrum Master role because very simply, a lot of you believe and have been taught the theoretical stuff. And what you do when you go into an organization, you teach the organization the theory. You guys know we live in reality. We don't live in a book. We don't live in a theoretical environment. We've got to prove our skills. We've got to prove our abilities. And guys, that means we live and work in a business setting. We don't live and work in a theoretical setting. I hope that's connecting with those of you who are watching my videos and aren't taking the steps to pursue that career transformation that you're looking for. You're living in a business world. You're not living in a Scrum Master world. You're not living in a CSM, PSM world. You're not living in a software engineering world. These things are from the past. We're moving into a new era now. The new era is people that have business domain knowledge and are able to manage projects from A to Z with an idea to create wealth for the business. These are the individuals that organizations need now more than ever. And if you want to become that individual, check the link in my description. Click on it, watch the Scrum Master Masterclass, and you can also apply for a free consultation with one of my team members if you want to join one of our programs. But this is well worth it if you really want to take this transformation seriously. And don't forget, your expectations of a Scrum Master is what's taught to you in the book, right? CSM and PSM is telling you to do X, Y, and Z. But when you join the organization, you're like, oh gosh, it doesn't work like that according to the book, but I have to do this. And then you put the shield up of Scrum. The company's anti-agile. This person's anti-agile. No. The company's agile more than you are. The problem is you don't have the skills to actually execute the tasks. This is, again, the fingers pointing in your direction. You haven't acquired the skills. You don't have the business domain knowledge to be working as a Scrum Master. That's why you need one-to-one coaching and mentorship. And one of the biggest problems that all Scrum Masters have is that they cannot demonstrate value to their stakeholders or to their company that they're working for. Why is that? Because they don't know the metrics. They don't even know how to measure themselves. They're not being taught how to do this. And what happens, lo and behold, you're on the firing line every day and week. Everyone's asking you questions. So what do you exactly do? What is your roles and responsibilities? How do I know if you're performing in your task or you're not performing in your task? This is down to you because you're not aware of what those KPIs are. You're not aware of those metrics, what they are and how you're meant to implement them and how you're meant to report on them. And this is a missed opportunity. I'm sorry to say, guys, this is a missed opportunity that 90% to 95% of Scrum Masters don't even know. I give a challenge to every one of you. Go into your books right now and tell me what are the key metrics that a Scrum Master measures themselves on. And it's not velocity. And it's not bug count. You can just remove that. The business doesn't care one little bit about bug count or your velocity. The business cares about, are you delivering that product and can that product be delivered to my customers and can I start driving money, wealth creation? Can I start using this to generate revenue? That's it. And unfortunately, velocity is not in there and bug count is not in there. I don't care how many of you people think, oh, the burn down chart, oh, the bugs. That's fundamental stuff. That's theoretical stuff. That's the lowest level that you can compete in. If you want to compete at the lowest level, go ahead. You're not going to get a Scrum Master job anytime soon thinking like that. And guys, you have to continuously be learning. Continuous development is part of your process. Don't just think that you've been sold a wrong course in the past, such as CSM and PSM, and now you cannot make the transition. No, if you have one of those certifications, continue the journey. Take corrective action today to make that journey complete. You now know, you are now aware what you should have done. So if you're aware of what you should have done now, you should take those actions and complete the journey because you're already 20% there. You need someone to come in there and show you the remaining 60 to 80%, and the rest you need to glue in yourself. That's it. When you learn the tools, the software packages, the practical days, what you're meant to do on a day-to-day basis, how you're meant to work in certain scenarios, that's it. You don't need anything else. You can see the puzzle. You can piece the pieces of the puzzle together. It becomes very easy. Because at the end of the day, why did you pursue Scrum Master training? Why did you do it in the first place? The reason is very simple. You're sick of your job. You're sick of your role. You're working in a dead-end job. You're not getting that promotion. You're not getting that increment that you're looking for. No one comes to you and asks you for your opinion. You're disrespected by the team. And on top of that, you're not able to get money in and pay for all your stuff that you want. You want to buy a car, you want to buy a house, you want to buy a brand new phone, you want to go on a holiday, but guess what? You can't because you don't have enough money. Whose fault is that? It's your fault. You have parked yourself. And if you parked yourself, you're already becoming a liability. Why on earth should the company invest in you? Why on earth should the company even think of giving you a pay rise? You're not improving, but the other guy is improving. We rather favor that guy over you. This is your fault. In order to really make this transition happen, you have to pursue continuous development. And if you're really interested, check the link in my description and join my program. It will give you exactly what you need to become a Scrum Master. And if that doesn't work, the business domain knowledge that I'm giving away is worth more than the Scrum Master training alone. That business ATES business domains framework is far more valuable and far more superior to what you have encountered before. That is the cherry on the top, which a lot of you are missing out on. Once when you acquire that business skills, you're no longer a Scrum Master. You are someone that is a wealth creator for the company. You can generate revenue for the company. You can devise strategies. You can devise innovation management techniques to drive brand new products and services. You can become the individual that can drive large-scale transformation programs for effective change management strategies. You're someone that can apply business models for digital transformation analysis and implementation. That's the wealth of knowledge and experience that you get when you go for the ATES business domains framework. And lastly, guys, when you want to become a Scrum Master, there's a couple of steps, and these steps are really important. As I always say, guys, go on the SAFe Scrum Master 6.0 certification. Hands down, it's the best certification on the market. It's practical, and not only that, it gives you tools, techniques, agendas, everything you need to run a large-scale Agile project management for a project or a large-scale program management approach. SAFe Scrum Master is the best one, hands down. And you need a proper resume. You need a proper CV that's written that's going to reflect your skills. But the problem is you don't know how to reflect your true skills because you're just reflecting the stuff that they've taught you in the book. Employers don't want that. Employers want to see your true skills. If you want to get those true skills, check out the link in my description below and get on it before it's too late. And you need to know how to prepare for the interview. You need to know exactly how to come prepared. You're able to anticipate the interviewer's questions. If you can do all of that, you will stand a better chance of getting that role that you want to get. And lastly, the most important thing is emphasize on business skills. And I say this all the time. You're not going to get hired just as a Scrum Master. You need to be hired as someone that knows how to operate in the business. You're able to run operational tasks. You understand that if a customer request comes through, it's more important than the work that the team is currently doing, because customers are paying you the money. They are paying your salary at the end of the day. It's ridiculous the amount of times people say, oh no, we've got to operate the sprint as it is. We cannot change the items in the sprint. Of course you can. Who's paying the money? It's the customers. And if you don't deal with the customers' problems immediately, they are going to stop paying for using your services. And who's going to be out of the job? You are. Because you did not understand the reality of becoming a Scrum Master. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like that video, like the video, share the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and also don't forget to click the bell icon so when I post videos you are notified immediately. And also guys, feel free to check out the links in my description. It contains a lot of good information, and it contains the Scrum Master Masterclass that you can watch for completely free. And if you also want, you can also sign up for a free consultation with one of my team members, and you can discuss more if you would like to take one of my programs and become a true Scrum Master quickly within the next 4 to 5 weeks and really get that transformation that you're looking for. And as always guys, thank you for watching.